All right, boys, we got a great episode with Michael Rubin. Before we get into this, Super Bowl this weekend, boys, which means absolute DGen weekend of firing. I'm going to be going with Prize Picks. You guys know the drill. Prize Picks is the best app to use when firing on sports. Prize Picks is different because instead of betting on teams, you're betting on individual players. So each player has a set projection, and you either choose more or less than that set projection. So if you know which players are going to perform this weekend at the Super Bowl, download Prize Picks. Trust me, this is the app for you. It's available in 70% of the United States, Texas, Cali, Florida. Also, boys, take advantage of code NELP this weekend. It's a 100% deposit bonus. If you put in $100, bang, you're gonna match another $100. Free $100, boys. Use code NELP, download Prize Picks. Super Bowl weekend, baby, let's go. Crib's nice.
It's massive.
All right, we're at Michael Rubin's crib. Took so long to get here, man.
It's done. Hey, how are you? Good. Ryan, nice to meet you.
What's up?
Well.
Your shirt's on backwards.
No, is it?
Yep. Got you, dude.
Is this his crib? I think you might be renting it.
No, he's not renting this crib.
Yeah, baby is.
You sound like a hater.
That's not a hater.
Check this crib out. Look at the view. Huge pool. LA all the way down there. This might be the craziest crib I've been in.
What's up, bro?
This is
good, boys.
This is the craziest house I think I've ever been in.
This is crazy.
This is
So we're at
almost-
Michael Rubin's house. We got Michael Rubin on today.
Yeah.
You guys don't know him. He's basically just a very, very, very successful business guy. He owns Fanatics,
Yeah.
which they have the rights to pretty much
Jerseys.
every, like, jerseys, right?
NFL, NBA, I think all major leagues.
Yeah. Literally all of them.
So
I mean, this
basically,
guy,
any sports, like, memorabilia that you buy is, like, basically
through him.
run by Fanatics.
Yeah, you go to Fanatics site. He
Yeah.
has everything.
He owns
pretty
NBA
fucking cool.
stores. He owns.
Unless you get the fake ones, you probably have that.
Well, you get the bullshit ones, of course. you know. But this is, I mean, it's the guy. It's-
These ones are cool too. Besides, the internals we love to do, but it's always cool to just sit down with a successful
yeah.
fucking business person. You just get to ask questions. You get to learn from
Yeah.
them. It's inspiring,
I'm
right?
excited, man.
4 CEOs.
Dude.
Didn't you?
Wait,
one
what?
episode.
4 CEOs?
Yeah.
Three.
I'm intern
Three.
CEO when he's out.
Yeah, but like a 3.
Right now, I guess 3.
No, it's sick though.
Yeah. You saying what?
No, I was gonna say you hit him up. Did he leave you on red or?
No, I didn't have his. I had his old number.
Oh, okay.
Oh, like you just his boy.
I met him a few times.
Oh, so you're fronting like you set this up?
No, I didn't set this up.
Oh, I heard Grubman set
I guess
this up.
yeah. Shout out to
Sammy,
Dave. Shout out to
Shahidi
Dave
set it
Grubman.
up. I thought. No.
No, shout out to Dave.
Oh.
Dave Grubman set
Yeah,
this up
Dave
for
got
us. So shout out to Dave. It's our guy. It's cool. What's new though? Before Ruben comes, anything new?
Bro. I mean,
Oh, what?
What?
nothing.
Who gives that
So
smile?
we
like
got
they're
our
about to say
pod
something?
going out today too.
Yeah, our pod's going out today, me and you. Great.
What's the title?
It was like 2 hours. I don't know yet. That's the thing. I got to figure that out.
Your titles are so different though. It's just like one line.
Should just
Yeah.
be. It should
Right?
be Raw Gear Full Send Collab. We talk all things Raw Gear Full Send
No, we
Collab.
didn't though. It was at the end of it. We did talk about it. That's the thing we're going to do, but that was at the end of it.
That's gonna be crazy. That title, Jesse will be in the thumbnail. Kyle,
No,
you in the middle.
but I think that pod's going to do really well. We talked for like 2 hours. You shared a lot.
I liked it. It was really good. I listened to it back. It was
I don't-
sick.
yeah.
I don't know what I'm like. This is you guys run this pod one.
This one?
Yeah.
I got this.
I think this one. I want to just really. I want to get his whole story too, like how he
Yeah.
started, right?
Yeah, I have everything.
I got this. What time did you get here, by the way? We're supposed to be here. What?
I was at 9.
Did you take a dip in
you
the
got
pool?
here real early.
Yeah, we-
10. You got here like 50 minutes
I
early.
already hit the sauna.
There's a
I
video of
did
you
some
dipping in
cardio.
the. You were just swimming laps. Fucking
Yeah, I did sauna, cardio. I'm like, there's a gym downstairs.
steam room you were in.
Yeah. Honestly, I feel
Lift.
great.
I like that.
Yeah, we did a whole nother podcast.
The thing about it is, no one's gonna tell you like, yo, what are you doing here?
No, everyone's really sweet. He's got like all these like nice like
Chef made you
4.
breakfast or what?
Yeah, full like 5-course little breakfast.
Yeah, it's like one of those houses where you walk in. There's like 5 different people doing different
exactly.
shit.
Yeah.
That's how you got to do it though. If you have this house,
You should ask him about this crib in general. This
I have
is
some
fucked.
details, but I mean,
what do you got? Why you already looked at probably 100 M's?
70.
Oh, 70?
70.
Holy fuck!
I thought it'd
Yeah.
be more.
I'm excited for this one.
You think we get an invite to one of his parties
Okay,
after
well,
this? or-
I got something ready for that. I got something
Saving
ready for
it?
that. Huh?
You
What,
saving
you've
that?
been there? You got rejected once.
No.
Don't tell him how you did not get let in.
No. You can't even show up to that without like an invite. You can't show up to that.
I've
You
gone
talking about one like
I've
the white
gone before.
parties or something like that?
I went to Fanatics his last Super Bowl. It was in LA, right? Yeah,
I went to the
it
one
was
in
pretty
Miami.
crazy. DiCaprio is there.
But the 4th of July party is a party everyone wants to go to.
Oh, is it?
That's the one. Yeah.
What, at Nobu?
No. He had it in the Hamptons, I think.
What up, guys?
It's good, bro.
What up, man?
Tom, how are you?
How are
Good to see you again.
Good to see you.
How's it going, bro? Kyle.
What's going on?
Great to meet you.
Good to meet you, man.
How you guys doing?
Doing amazing.
Good.
Well, bro, like, first off, thanks for letting us in your home. This is beautiful.
Pleasure to have
This is
you guys.
incredible.
This crib is insane, bro.
It could be worse.
It could be a lot
It could
worse.
definitely be worse.
I've been to a lot of houses in LA, but I think this might be the nicest crib. Just like the natural lighting, the view. Shit's insane, bro.
It's actually a little. I don't find peace very often, and it's definitely peaceful here for sure.
How long have you lived in this house?
I have been here for about. When did I get here? I got here in September. I actually decided that I'm here a lot more for business. Like, we're in the sports and entertainment business. So, basically it's like New York and LA. And I said, like, I need a place in LA. We do so much business here. And I came out and I looked at 8 houses. And this was actually the first house I walked into. It was actually a guy who owns the Vancouver hockey team.
Really?
And
Shit.
yeah, small world. And we got together, worked it out pretty quickly. And I was like in here 3 weeks later.
Wow.
I was like, house is great. We agreed on the deal. I said, leave everything. And Francesco was great. He's actually become a buddy of mine.
Beautiful, man.
And yeah, I love it here.
It's insane.
It's
How
beautiful.
many bedrooms is it here?
I don't even know.
Yeah,
Have
can you
have
give us
walked
like
the
a
whole house
rundown?
yet?
I'm not, it's not my thing. I'm like, you guys go roam on you. You guys make yourself at home afterward.
Oh, he's been here since
Yeah, no,
8
I was in
a.m.,
the
just
sauna.
so you know.
I was using the elevator.
You do the cold plunge?
Yeah, I did the cold plunge.
So I did my first cold plunge.
I told you.
Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I've never done the cold plunge before. I'm actually terrified of it. And so all my boys, like everyone tells me how great the cold plunge is. So I finally I really got myself ready. Like I can do this. I can get in this thing. I got in it. I made it 3 seconds. I'm like, I'm the fuck out of this thing. It was like, I thought I was going to die. I honestly was wondering whether the people that were with me could give me CPR if my heart shut down from the cold plunge. So I was
Yeah.
definitely a little bitch, but
It's crazy that you say that because like all you've accomplished to like not to like mentally because it
but
takes
I
so
only tried
much.
for the first time like last time I was here. So I'm going to try again. I'm going to get it.
I didn't go in
And
it by
next
the
time
way.
you see me, I'll have it mastered.
Yeah, I believe I didn't go in it by the way. I was joking. I'm not.
You should go in it.
Yeah, I'd love to.
Go in
I'm
after.
gonna
I'll tell you what, go in on my beach. Do you like the cold plunge?
I love it. I have one in my house.
How long can you?
7 minutes is the most I've ever done.
So you can do 7
At
minutes
what
today
temp?
here.
42.
So should we finish this at 7 minutes here? See how you do.
I can do it. Yeah.
Oh, let's go.
I know, I
I'm
said no
down to
problem.
try
We're
it.
gonna finish.
We
last
just went to
episode.
Russia. Do you know the fighter Islam?
No.
They're from Dagestan. Like, do you know Khabib?
Yes. Of
It's
course.
like his prodigy went there and did like the real Russian cold plunge in like the lake. It was
How
so I think it was like 32.
You went into.
I went into.
How about you? You're quiet over here on the cold plunge.
What? No, I can't do that.
He's definitely not a cold
I
punch
don't do
kind
the
of
cold
guy.
punch.
All right. So you should do the cold plunge today. See how you do.
Yeah,
Okay,
let's do it.
I could do it. Like, I'm not a bitch. I'll do it. But it's just
That's
not
the way
something
I
to do.
felt. But I got to tell you something. It humbles you very quickly.
Oh, you've never done it?
I have, bro.
Okay.
Like a minute.
Oh, this will be great because I know exactly what you're talking
We're
about.
gonna end this. This one's cold.
But who convinced you? Like, who was the guys like, Michael, you have to do this. It's going to change you.
I hate it's a lot of my friends have pushed me on it
Yeah.
hard.
Yeah.
And they come here and my boys have been through the house. Like this cold plunge is amazing. Like you got to get in. Did you see it actually?
No, I was totally joking.
Okay,
I'm not
well,
running.
I wanna
running
check it
around.
out.
I was like,
Listen, you can run around at the end. I don't
Okay.
care. I'm going to go back to work. You
Yeah.
guys run around and then you go in the cold plunge. I expect you in it.
no, I'll do it 100.
The,
percent
Okay,
the
well-
end of this podcast needs to be you in the cold plunge.
I promise
Sweet.
you. I'm
Okay, going off that though.
How-
So
let's take it back to like, I guess your story. I know you talked about this a few different times on a few different podcasts as far as business goes. The thing that I find so interesting about you is every time you talk about like you did the ski stuff, you were shoveling snow at 8 years old, you're doing all this like crazy stuff at such a young age. You said you made like 25,000 at 13. I watched a few different interviews. I guess my question to you, without trying to go over the same information, I know you've explained a lot, is you've had so much like drive as like a young individual to make money. Where does that come from? Because at 8 years old, most kids aren't thinking about making money, shoveling snow and trying to get other kids to work for them. So you know what I'm saying?
I think in a lot of ways, it's just something you're born with or you're not. Like it's crazy. When I think about it now, I'm more driven than I've ever been. I work harder today. Right now, I'm working harder than I've ever worked. Like I'm thinking about this and I was actually going to bed last night after I was sort of dizzy from working so hard. And I'm thinking like, why am I killing myself like this? But then I'm just like, I go right back at it because it's just like, it's the mentality I have. I believe like just hard work, intensity, will persevere. Like anything I want to do, I feel like I can get myself to do. And if I really want to do the cold plunge for 7 minutes, I could figure out how to do it because I would just be determined to do it. And so I was the same way at 8 years old. And I was always, I said this 100 times, but I was like the shittiest student in the world, the worst athlete in the world. but like I always just had an insane work ethic and a little bit of common sense. And those two work pretty well together.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people talk about like they have the drive, but they really don't have the drive. Like I have the drive.
But what, like, you just, because what at 8 years old teaches you that? You just had it, you think? And that's
why I said I think you were kind of born with it. Like
okay,
I just like,
yeah.
like I think, some people like to sleep a lot. And, some people like to, action. Like I love action. Like I was just here for, Grammys weekend with Robert Kraft. Guy's turning 82 in June. The guy's got more energy than I have. And I'm like endless energy. I'm like, Robert, how do you do this? Like you're a beast. And it's like, so what do you mean? He was, we go nonstop, most of the weekend. And then he literally gets on a plane, flies back overnight. I'm like, you have him make the bed up. He's like, nah, I don't need the bed. I'm like, what are you talking about? You have a 4-hour flight. Like, have him make the bed up for you. He's going right back, right in the office, right to do things. And it's just like, I don't know. Some people just have those killer instinct, that drive.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Wait, no, I want to. So you said 25,000 at 13.
I think it would be cool for our
hold
audience
on.
to get your story too.
Yeah.
I just want to know, what did you do with 25,000 when you were 13 years
It
old?
wasn't drugs.
Yeah, no, but do you save that up, hide it under your bed, or what?
No, so I was,
The ski stuff.
yeah, so I truly was, and people like, I do like to make fun of myself, but like I literally was a terrible student.
Yeah.
When I took my SATs, I got a 780 combined, by the way, not on half.
Yeah, that's not
combined.
very good.
Okay.
Mine was higher, but yeah.
Yeah, but everyone's was higher. I've
It's
never
not
met-
good. That's the point.
I was
Right.
just throwing
Yeah.
that out there, bro.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
Do you
I'm
know
just
how SATs work?
Yeah.
Yeah, bro.
Okay.
Yeah, if you could get, I think you get 400 for your name on it. So like a 780s,
You live in your sister's apartment though, not here.
pretty
right?
dismal.
Yo, chill.
Um,
Why do you gotta put me on blast like that?
Dude, sorry. Just because your reaction. Sorry.
I stay at the
I'm so-
Waldorf
There's a
sometimes.
self-deprecating crew. We all got to make fun
I
of it.
say-
Exactly,
I'm
exactly.
fine.
Yeah, but I
for
stay at the
sure.
Waldorf sometimes. Just putting that out
Yeah.
there. Okay.
Yo, wait. Wait, you just say you stay at the Waldorf sometimes? Just put
Yeah,
that out there?
like once a month.
So what does that mean?
Just, bro.
You're saying
Go
this
ahead,
to a
Michael.
billionaire? You stay at the Waldorf? You think
No,
it-
but he's got to throw that out there. Like, not many people know that.
Listen, your boys like to make fun of you. Like,
Bro,
yeah.
it's all love. We love you, bro.
Okay.
But go ahead.
I'm not getting any ass staying on my sister's couch. Go ahead,
Do we
Mike.
need a group hug real quick?
No, we should. Me and him might need to.
Okay.
You know,
In the
because
cold plunge.
we'll do it in the cold plunge.
Together.
Yeah.
That's how we're gonna. This is ending.
Yes.
You have to, guys. Like, you have to make your podcast great. You got to end in the. You got to end in the cold punch. With
Easy.
Move Up.
We're doing it.
It's like leaving it on the court.
So this is
Yeah. So I'll tell you a quick story.
Yeah,
So
go
anyway,
ahead.
so I was like terrible student. Like I could never focus on school. It was always hard for me. I had terrible ADD from when I was like a little kid.
understand
When
that.
people didn't even know what it was. I really wasn't a good athlete. Like I was the guy they picked last, and like I only get picked. Actually, I just had a basketball game, and I didn't get picked last. I said it was the first time I haven't got picked last in some type of athletic event in my life. But I loved to work from when I was a kid, so I was always selling things. Like at 8 years old, like literally, it would snow, and I would go and I would sell the snow shoveling, and I would hire kids to work for me, and I would, I was trading baseball cards as a business, and I was selling, stationery door to door that I would make on the Apple II Plus, which no one probably even knows what an Apple II Plus computer was.
Yeah. But did you, I guess the question is, did you have someone show you this? Because like,
No, it was all just instincts I was born with. I loved it.
Okay.
And I loved to work. I would do any job as a kid. And so I went to ski camp in the summer, and I learned how to tune skis. And a buddy of mine said, like, you love business so much. And basically, like, because we always made fun of each other, like, you suck at school and you suck at sports. So
it's a good friend group.
yeah, it's good. It's good. So why don't you start a ski tuning shop? And I did. I did that at 12 years old. And then I got really lucky. It didn't snow that season. They had this big ski swap where all these different local ski shops were bringing in their inventory. And I helped a ski shop, which was called Bauman Ski Shop, sell their excess inventory. And I said, hey, why don't you lend me some of your excess inventory? So I put it in my parents' basement. I took it on consignment. And that year I made $25,000 just borrowing skis and selling them.
At
to
what
like
age?
13.
13, yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking
What
crazy.
did your parents think of that?
he was a
25K
millionaire
at
by 21.
13, bro.
Well, by the way, my mom was a psychiatrist. And so I think she knew I was crazy from day one. So I think I was diagnosed as definitely a little bit out there from day one.
Yeah.
What were you spending at that time when you were 13 and you have 25 racks?
Remember you bought it. Yeah, you bought it.
You know what's
Car, yeah.
funny? I think at that age, I didn't really give a shit. The first dumb thing I did was definitely, I was, I guess, either 14 or 15. I did buy half a Porsche,
Yeah.
which I was not legal to drive.
Half a Porsche?
Yeah, I bought it with a friend, and I hid it
Okay.
down the street
This is
from
funny.
my family. And then my dad came home from like this club he was in one night. He's like, Michael, did you one of the guys said you bought a Porsche, did you? I'm like, yeah. He's like, is it nice? I'm like, yeah. He's like, you ought to tell your mom. And I remember my mom comes in, she was the much more serious one. She comes, hear the footsteps coming down. she says, my dad says, Paulette, Michael has something to tell you. And I said, Mom, I bought a Porsche. She starts laughing and walks out of the room. And I remember my dad says, Paulette, I think you ought to come back here. And then it was screaming at the top of her lungs when she realized that I was not kidding. So I did have that at 15. Actually, I guess I was 15 when I did it.
Yeah. In relationship to like family and stuff, because obviously it's not normal for a 15-year-old or 12-year-old, 8-year-old to be doing so much like work. Did your parents ever doubt you, or were they always just believing in you? Was there any sort of...
No, I think, if we're being blunt, keeping it real. I mean, my relationship with my parents was always incredible, but did they doubt me as a kid? Absolutely. I mean, my mom said like, I shouldn't be in business. I should go to school and be a normal kid. And, my dad kind of just said, look, if your grades are good, which they weren't, I'll be supportive. And so, I actually, there was only one time I ever borrowed money, from my mom and dad. We grew up very middle class. Like we did not grow up, people always assume like, hey, you grew up like a rich kid. I didn't. Like I have a lot of friends who are, grew up as rich kids. I did not grow up as one of those kids. We grew up in the house, that I lived in from, when I was born till I moved out on my own. That house today is about a $500,000 house. So we grew up in a very middle class family. It was a nice house and it was great, but we were certainly not well off. My mom was always like, this isn't right. You should focus on school. And so at 16, when I'd already had the ski shops and I had done maybe $500,000 in business the year before, the following year, it didn't snow. So if now you're like 16, you're getting a little off track, you're buying half of a Porsche, it doesn't snow. I literally was dead ass, like technically bankrupt. And I had about a 4-month period where the local sheriff became like my homie. She would come to my house every day and drop off the lawsuits of the people that were suing me. I got sued at least 100 times.
For what?
At age 16, because I couldn't pay the bills, because I had $200,000.
Vendors and stuff.
Yeah, I had $200,000 I owed to vendors, and I had $80,000 in inventory and the half a Porsche. So I can't forget the half a Porsche.
Right.
Which, by the way, I think it was like it's $24,000 car at that point. It was 35 years ago or something. So I was basically broke, and I went to and so basically I hired a bankruptcy lawyer, and I thought I was done. Like I was dumb. I was done. It was over. And the bankruptcy lawyer says to me, by the way, like he gets all these creditors together. We have this meeting with the creditors and all these people who want to kill me because I can't pay the $200,000.
Yeah.
And someone says, by the way, how old are you? I didn't even know this. I said, at this point, I said, I'm 16. Everyone, they look like ghosts. I guess you couldn't incur debt till you were 18 legally.
That's clutch.
And so the $200,000, they said, hey, if you can pay us 18 cents on the dollar, we'll settle with you. And so I went to my mom and dad and said, hey, can I borrow $30,000, which was a fortune to them. And they said, yes, on one condition. You agree to shut the business down and go to college. And so I agreed. But that created a couple issues. One, I couldn't get into any college. It was the first problem. I applied to Villanova, Temple, and Drexel, all rejected me. I then happened to do a radio show on the sports station in Philadelphia, and Rolly Massimino, God rest his soul, was the basketball coach of Villanova, obviously, who did the show after me. And he actually got me into Villanova after I didn't get in. Yeah. So I actually tried to fulfill the promise I made to my parents. But I sat in the parking lot the first couple of weeks. And now at this point, I'm 18. I'm buying and selling clothes. So now I'm doing great in business. I was probably doing $30-40 million at 18 buying and selling closeouts. Yeah. Okay. And so I couldn't actually focus on school. I'm like, I would literally drive to school. The phone was like what you see in like one of those drug dealer movies, like 40 years ago. The phone was like this big.
Yeah.
I'd sit in my car. I'd be, buying and selling things. And like, there's no way you could get me to actually, focus on going to school. So I made it about 6 weeks.
So at 18 though, this was still just ski stuff, doing 30?
No, I was doing sneakers at this point too.
Okay.
Like I remember
30 to 40 million.
Yeah.
At
revenue.
18.
Yeah.
It's different.
I was doing, by the time I was 21, I can't remember exactly, but I was doing over $100 million in revenue, probably making 10 million in profit as a 21-year-old. Remember, you got to go back. This is 30 years ago. So doing $100 million in business and making $10 million 30 years ago, pre-internet, was actually real business.
Oh, it's insane. Well, so let's talk about that a little bit. Like the timing wise, how important do you think timing is though? Because at the same time, not that you didn't work hard, of course, the things that you've done is incredible, but like could someone today, like someone watching this, could they create the same sort of income the same way you did now today, or is it even greater now? Because it's such a different playing field, right? Because timing.
Look, I think in a lot of ways, it's a lot easier today for a young person to build a business because of the internet and technology. And you see so many kids now that are, social media has created such a platform for people to build businesses very quickly. Mm-hmm. So I'd say, and technology has created such a platform. So I say it's much easier I'd say I did it in the hard times, like, selling sneakers, one trail at a time, or skis, one lot at a time was probably more complex than it is today.
Yeah,
for sure.
What about social media now for you? Because you're pretty viral all over there.
It's funny. I was never into it at all. And then I had like the creeper account where I followed my friends, but I never went on. Then I literally went on in 2018. And what I realized was it really is a platform for talking about the things that I care about. So what am I talking about? I'm talking about things we're doing from a business perspective. I'm talking about what we're doing with the Reform Alliance. I'm promoting my friends. I'm making fun of myself. So it's fun for me now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did you start getting involved in? I mean, we know about the Fanatics party, the Super Bowl, which Kyle went to last year. I don't know how you decide who's on that list or whatnot.
Well, actually, it's the single thing that I hate most. It's actually.
And you trying to get an invite to a party right now?
I've gone before.
Okay.
I went to one in Miami.
I got you guys, but I got to tell you something.
Yeah.
There's right now for this weekend in the Super Bowl, I'd say we're going to have 800 or 900 people, and there are probably 50,000 people trying to come to this party.
How do you do that? How do you decide who makes the list?
I just know that a lot of people are just not going to like me. I mean, we really do it. It's people, it's our business partners that are really important to us. It's, people that are influential that, help build the Fanatics brand. And it's our really, really good friends. And that's who comes to the party. So I can tell you something right now.
Yeah.
I literally walked out of my office and we actually take 250 people for the weekend to the game. Okay. Then I have my suite that I do. And then we have this party and it is absolutely mayhem. I thought the white party was the thing I got tortured most with people trying to come to. I actually think right now this Super Bowl for the first time, we're actually having a music festival. We got, Travis performing, J Balvin's performing, Chainsmokers are performing, Baby's performing. A couple of my friends who I saw this weekend told me they're going to just jump up and do some special performances. So it's going to be fun.
I mean, now
I hope I can actually have fun at it, but it will be fun for everybody else.
It seems like you're pretty much in the culture now. Because these guys, like you just said, who's performing, they are your friends. You hang out with what? We saw at the white party, Lil Baby, Migos, but they're performing at the parties, right?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of those guys are brothers to me. I mean,
so how do you get those relationships? Is there any business relationship or it's all just your boys?
So I'd say in anything I do, I'm huge on doing things authentically and never forcing anything. So if you look at any relationship I have, business, personal, whoever it is, I always do things authentically. The second you try to force things, I think bad things happen. And so in business, I think I've built, a fair amount of deep relationships, but they've been built over long periods of time. Look, we do have a lot of people that are important to sports and entertainment that have become real friends of mine, but they're like my real friends. And I try to always give a lot more than I ask. I try to always help a lot more than I ask, but I'm also someone, to be honest, the way I learn is as a sponge. I don't learn by reading. I barely read. I don't, watch much media. I learn by asking people questions, having great people around me. And that's the way I learn. So we all learn from each other. There's not a day that goes by in my life where we're not all helping each other. So, there's lots of great people around, but I always want to make sure I'm giving lots because I think that's what, I always want to be a giver, not a taker.
Yeah. I have a question on a note, kind of the celebrity thing. When to Say When, the Drake song, he mentioned the verse. I watched Michael Rubin win $1 million off a couple hands. What was that like? What actually happened? This is a real story, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I mean,
you like to gamble?
Yeah, Drake's I've always had the gambling gene. I mean, I'll in the spirit of telling stories, you probably shouldn't tell, but whatever, who cares?
Yeah.
The first time I won in gambling, I think I won $2,500. And the problem was the gambling age was 18 at this point, but I was 14.
Oh my God.
I remember calling my mom from a payphone in an Atlantic City casino. I said, I was so excited, Mom, Dad, I just won $2,500, in the casino. And my dad's like, that's amazing. I was like, you're grounded. I'm like, I'm excited. I just won $2,500. Get home, you're grounded. So like I always had the gambling gene. For me, there aren't a lot of things that can get my brain to take its mind off of like work, what I'm doing. So like gambling is a place. And I don't ever want to speak on Drake's behalf, but I think he would tell you the same thing. And I think a lot of my friends would say the same thing. You get your mind to think about something other. And people don't, if you don't like to gamble, you won't understand this, but it does, distract you from everything else in life. So it's a good mental break. Now you need to do it with the control and within your means and all the things that obviously we all understand. But yeah, look, I've been, Drake and I have had many gambling nights. We've had some pretty bad ones and we've had, some good ones too.
Where do you get, like in Vegas or online or?
Well, and with us getting the gambling business a big way, I've actually never gambled online. I've only been live in casinos. And I think if you'd say where Drake and I have been in casinos, I think you've named just a few of the locations. I think
Bahamas.
We've definitely hit off. We've definitely hit Bahamas, AC.
Yeah.
How much?
Vegas
What's the
for
most
sure.
you've ever won gambling?
I'm not.
Damn, I was so curious.
Yeah, we've had good and bad days.
Yeah, for sure.
Fanatics is going to be getting into the iGaming space, right? We're big gamblers too, so we
that's
can
why I
all
was bringing it
fucking,
up. I
our
wanna
fans
get it,
love to gamble too, but can you say any plans on that front?
Yeah, look, Fanatics today is in three businesses. The business we started in that we call Commerce was the merchandise business. That business has, grown quite a bit. We own Lids, we own Mitchell Ness, we own Fanatics, we operate each of the league stores. That's about, this year, it's about a $6.5 billion business. It's about $250 million business when we started, 11 years ago. And we're just getting started there, by the way. We have so much to do. Lids is growing internationally. Fanatics is growing like crazy. Mitchell Ness is growing like crazy. Again, we feel like there's so much we can do to make it better for the fan. Collectibles business we can talk about later. But the gaming business, I'm super bullish in. I think at the end of the day, Fanatics has, close to 100 million customers today. And when I think about, those customers, probably half of them are sports gamblers. And then we have the collectibles business and trading cards. And so these businesses really fit together. So we think with the advantage we have from a marketing perspective that we already spend probably $500 million on marketing last year. That budget's growing each year. The ability to leverage and make it better for the fan and kind of create one, kind of integrated experience where you can get your merchandise, you can gamble, you can get your collectibles over time. Lots of other things you'll be able to do with Fanatics is, I think, a big opportunity for us.
Yeah.
When do you guys think you'll launch that type of stuff?
We just opened our first sports book last month. We'll be in beta next month, and then we'll be in public rollout within a few months. But by the end of this year, we'll be basically in every major
How does
state.
the back end that work? Do you guys get the licenses yourself, or do you partner
we're going to
with?
be the operator.
Okay.
We're absolutely going to be the operator. And, look, we think about things very long term. I mean, for us, the business, it's getting to be a fairly sizable business. So we don't think about what's going to work in the near term. We think about where do we want to be a decade from now, 2 decades from now, 3 decades from now. When I think about this business long term, I think about having, billions of sports fans everywhere on the planet look at Fanatics as the go-to place they go to get their merchandise, to do online sports betting, to get, trading cards and collectibles, and so many other things that we can give them over time, kind of the digital sports platform for everything they need. And so we're just getting started. By the way, we have so many things we can do better. We have so many things we're just going with. So, I think this will be a really big business for us.
Wow, that's cool.
Sports
Yeah,
book's gonna be a
I got
game changer.
that's great.
Two questions kind of along this line. Like number one, why sports for you? Because you obviously got into it early on, and your timing with GSI, the company that you sold, it was when you officially I don't know if you officially became a billionaire at that point or not, but you knew to e-commerce at the time, which was so new, you knew to sell products for people, these bigger companies, Sports Authority, you made these deals. How did you have the foresight to what e-commerce would be today? And why did you decide sports?
Yeah. So the first company I started was in 1999 called GSI Commerce. That's what eBay bought in 2011 for $2.4 billion, which was a public company. I was at that point, a small shareholder of the public company that I founded.
Right.
And, the way I got in that business in 1998, 1999 was really by accident, luck, and entrepreneurialism. That's the way a lot of things in life happen for entrepreneurs. What happened was the internet was going crazy, and I was very anti the internet. If you were this is crazy. In 98, I was everyone said to me, hey, this internet bubble's happening. You guys should be in e-commerce. I was like, I owned a couple footwear brands. I was in the business of buying and selling the close-up merchandise we talked about. My original thought process was kind of like, honestly, like, fuck these internet guys. Like, they all do a lot of business, like top line. None of them know how to make money. Like, I'm an old school entrepreneur. This is my, by the way, mid-20s. I'm an old school entrepreneur.
Which is insane.
And so there was the real story of what happened. There's this guy who's, still my partner today. His name's Mike Hahn, and he was an analyst on a Wall Street firm. And he called me up and he said, Michael, you see what's happening with all these, e-commerce companies. And I literally said to him, like, fuck those guys. Like, I'm not interested. Like, we make real money. And he said to me, look, if there's so much euphoria about this, like, you ought to really think about it. I hung up on him. Like, I don't want to hear this. And then he called me back on Black Friday. It was probably the only day of the year that I couldn't work because I was in the business of selling shoes and closeouts to these retailers who they were all in the store selling this stuff. So there was nobody to sell anything to. And so he said, like, look, you're missing this, man. You should really think about this. And so I did what any entrepreneur would do. I called the CEO of the Sports Authority and the CEO of Modell's and the CEO of Dick's. I said, what are you guys doing about this whole e-commerce thing? And everyone said the same thing to me. Like, look, man, like, we don't understand e-commerce. This is 1998, Christmas of 1998.
Yeah, timing.
Like, you're young. If like you have a solution for this, tell us, and like, we'll do it with you. And after like 10 people said that to me, that's how I came up with the idea of starting GSI Commerce in 98. And so I did it kind of just because I fell into it because someone said, like, you should think about this thing. And then we sold the company in 2011 and eBay didn't want Fanatics, which was a nothing business at that point. And that's when I bought that back from them and kind of, begun the long, journey that we've been on of building it into, what you're starting to see some early forms of today.
How does a deal like that go down with eBay? For what'd you say, 2.4 billion?
Yeah.
How does that, I don't know, that's crazy. How does that kind of start the process of that?
eBay approached us, and what eBay really wants to do, and they were smart for doing this. It didn't work out exactly the way everybody wanted it to, but eBay approached us and said, look, you have this business and you work with all these big retailers and these big, brands, companies like Ralph Lauren, Estee Lauder, GNC, Toys R Us, Dick's Sporting Goods. They want to get these companies into their marketplace to be more competitive with Amazon. And so they want to buy GSI to get these relationships. And it just didn't work. It didn't work as well as they wanted to, but that's why they bought the company, was to get these companies into their marketplace. And so they came and said, hey, we want to buy the company. Then we hired bankers to represent us. And ultimately they bought the company for, $2.4 billion.
It's just crazy because originally you had the mindset of like the internet is, fuck this at this point. But now, like, would you say that most of your income is from e-commerce through Fanatics?
Definitely.
Yeah. Which is insane.
Yeah, which means you can be wrong and you just got to do the 180. I'm very good at that.
But you're so good at, like,
fuck things up all the time, and I'm very good at, hey, I thought I had it and I wasn't right. But that's great. That's like incredible in life. Like, I love to learn from my mistakes. I was just saying this to somebody over the weekend, like, I like taking L's. And I'm like, how do you like taking L's? Because you learn from your L's, you grow, and you do better next time.
Me too.
Yeah.
What are the biggest things you think that are important when you're like trying to sell a company?
Well, I think the most important thing is to build something that's long lasting. Like, think about what you guys are doing. You guys are building, this great show that, gets, incredible viewership. And the more successful you make this, the more valuable you make it. So to me, you build a great product, you build a great business, everything works itself out. If you just try to sell a business to sell it, it's not going to work. Yeah. So many people say, hey, like, I want to build something to get rich. Well, that's wrong. We build a great product, build something that people love, build a great business, everything will work itself out. Try to build something just to build it, it ain't going to work.
Yeah, super.
Sell it, I mean.
So in regards kind of to that, but in the self-belief of being able to do so, like, how important is self-belief in your opinion, as far as like all the success that you've had? And have you ever not had self-belief in yourself at any point?
Yeah, so I've never, like, the thing that makes me a little bit different is I have no fear of failing at all. Like, I just don't give a shit. And still today. So, like, if you have that mentality, you just keep going for it. And so I'm always going for it. Like, I'm always like, no fear like that at all. And I think that's where I'm a little bit different. I think people, even as they get older and more successful, they become more nervous to take those chances. Like, I like risk. I like the action. And again, like, failing, it's cool. Like, there's no problem with that. You learn from your failures. So long as you're like learning and growing. Like, the most important thing to me every day is to learn and grow. That's what I love to do. I wake up, I go at it with everything I got, and I want to learn and grow. And if I do that each day, life's great.
Going off that, what do you think your lowest point in your career has been? Because it sounds like you've been pretty successful, just keeps getting bigger and bigger.
Well, I've had many low points from a business perspective, but I've never felt like there were low points in my career.
Mhm.
That's a very different. So like, I mean, I can remember in the financial crisis of 2009 that our stock had dropped by 90%. I was almost pushed out of my company. And I was also almost broke for maybe like the 98th time. This is only 14 years ago. And I was never phased. Like I like to fight every day. And guess what? I fought through it. Like there was literally, and this is not an embellishment or an exaggeration, I owed a bank about $50 million in 2008 personally. I got this debt down to, during the financial crisis, down to about $3 million. And I couldn't pay the last $3 million off. And the bank was going to sell, I was secured against the shares of my public company. And the bank was going to start selling my shares. And I couldn't find the money to pay them the last $3 million. But every day I kept calling people who I was invested with that I couldn't get the money out of because they were in bad situations. Until I got it done, I didn't give up. And that was my mentality. And so my point is like, you could say it was a low point. I almost, went bankrupt. I almost got kicked out of my company. My stock was down by 90%. I was nearly broke. I was like, man, that was a fucking blast. Like, I like this action.
Yeah,
Like
that's
sweat.
the inner
You like the
gambler.
That's
Sweat.
a
Like,
big
by the-
sweat though.
But
50
by
mil.
the way, if you ask Brady when he was down 28-3 in the Super Bowl, was he depressed? I'm sure he'd tell you like, fuck that. Like, I want to go out.
Well,
Like, I'm just saying, like, it's like, if you have that mentality, you can overcome anything you want. Then like you almost like if I go to a casino, I get my ass whipped. I'm not like quitting. I'm fighting back. Now, by the way, I could still get my
No,
ass
this
whipped.
just reminds me of Steve
I can
right
still
now.
get my
It's
ass
true in
whipped.
gambling. If you
Yeah.
never quit, you'll just
but the
win,
NFL's
right?
scripted now. You know that, right?
What's that?
That's what
The NFL
they're saying. The
scripted?
NFL is scripted now.
What do you mean it's scripted now?
Have you heard that?
No,
The rumors.
Trevor Lawrence, yeah, they're like saying that because the Chargers came back from that 31-0 lead.
the NFL is not scripted. That's bullshit. That's dumb. That's wrong.
That's what they're saying.
I got a question. This is a little bit more like on a personal level. Like you have essentially anything you could want, you could buy, right? So what would you say now in your life?
Well,
Do
I don't agree with that at all.
Okay. So there's other things you can't buy that you'd want.
Well, the most important thing is you live a happy life.
Well, this is what I'm asking you. So I'm
So like material things don't do a thing. Like you can have all, like, let me tell you something. I know so many people that are so rich and they're
Yeah.
miserable. Okay. I talk about this with my friends all the time. There's nothing worse than rich, miserable people.
well, the question I was going to
Okay.
ask you was like, what does someone give you now that is actually showing value?
Their sincere friendship.
Yeah.
Their love, having fun together,
Yeah.
enjoying life. Like, I don't really like, yeah, it's nice. Is this a nice house? Absolutely. Is this house changing my life? Absolutely not. If you told me right now that you're not going to believe me, but if you told me I lost everything tomorrow morning, I lived in a 1-bedroom apartment, I'd wake up with the same energy and same attitude.
What
And
do you
you can
think?
call bullshit on it.
I'm not calling bullshit. I'm
But,
just saying. I
people
wonder.
people will listen to this and say the guy's full of shit.
I don't believe. I mean, you wouldn't be where you're at if that was not true.
Right. I'd be like, okay, this can be fun. This can be an adventure.
What do you? That's what I'm so curious. Like, why?
But
why do
I
you-
just actually, I'll tell you something that's interesting. So I started asking people, I was at someone's birthday who's been really successful, who was turning 70. And I asked them a question and they gave me the wrong answer. And I said to him, let me ask you a question. If you give all of your money up to be 55, you were dead ass broke, would you do it?
How old was he at the
70,
time?
you said,
70.
right? Yeah.
Okay.
So it was their 70th birthday.
Okay.
They said, hell no. They said, would you? I said, wait, for 15, I can go from 50 to 35? I said, fuck, I'll buy him for 40 right now. I'll give everything I have right now. I'll get 10 years back in my life. For sure. Everything. I'll start with 0 and have a blast doing it, by the way. That'd be so fun.
To subtract 20 years?
10 years. No, I'm buying
10
it
years.
for 10 years.
What?
I'll give everything I
For
have.
how much?
Everything I have for 10 years.
Whoa, dude, that's a large statement.
Not even a question.
That's cool though.
Well, it does. It makes sense. I mean, it's
Well,
all
we
about
know
the
you would
journey.
never do that, Brad.
It's all about the. What's that?
You wouldn't do that, you greedy fuck.
Oh, really?
Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
How old are you?
33.
Right. But by the way, when you're like, I'm 50 now, I've lived a little bit more than half my life probably. So it's like, I don't want to be fit. By the way, the biggest thing you can't buy is age back. Like you can't
Of course,
get time.
time.
Yeah.
Let's get Happy Dad to be the #1 seltzer this summer. You can go to happydad.com/find us to find a local store or bar that carries Happy Dad near you. And boys, make sure you tag us on Instagram @HappyDad on your IG stories because we're reposting a ton of you guys. And don't forget, you got to be 21 plus to buy and drink Happy Dad.
Why do you think it is so common? You said or I don't know if you said your friends or whatever, but a lot of rich people are so miserable. What do you think's missing in their life, or why are they not happy?
I think people get so obsessed with making money. Like, I like to make money for the game, for the action. I don't like to make money for the money of it. I also don't like, I'm not out there, I don't wear a lot of, like, I'm not like, I drive the same car. Like, I drive Range Rovers. I don't have like a collection of cars. I'm not like a showy person. Like, yeah, do I live in a nice house? Because I like to live in a nice house because that's where I live. But I'm not like, like, I don't really care about money. Like, I like to make money for the sport of it. It's like, I'm a shitty athlete. I'm a shitty student. I compete in business. Like, so many rich people, they're just miserable. Mm-hmm. And so, like, I say, like, and by the way, a lot of rich people also don't know how to live and like live their best life and like enjoy themselves. Like, there's so much I just want to say to somebody like, dude, be happy.
I know. I think people think that, like, I know a guy that just wanted to get rich so bad, and they think that once you accomplish that, you will be happy. And once they're like, oh, I have all this fucking money and I'm still not happy, what the hell is wrong with me?
I know so many people worth tens of billions of dollars that are so painful that I don't want to spend, that I run away from, that I don't want to spend 1 second with.
Fuck.
Was that like a personal thing for you? Like, it sounded really personal.
No, not personal. Oh, okay. I'm happy, dude.
I'm fucking with you. No, okay. So on this line,
but I am sensing you're a little sensitive. I just want to say
that's hilarious. That's kind of crazy. You would say something like that.
I just want to say, like, I just feel like I feel like he's fucking me. And he gets under your skin a little bit.
Why would you say that? Because he's the big guy and I'm the small guy.
No,
dude, even your reaction is funny right now.
It's a small guy to a small guy. I mean,
okay,
I'm all with small guys.
Michael, I can assure you, I'm not sensitive whatsoever. I just take things and I just keep going.
You just
he does look sensitive, right?
He is. He'll text me later and be like, "Yo, was that a good?"
How does everyone pick up on that, right?
Bro, it's because it's his demeanor. It's fine. No,
you're a little acting there, but yeah,
it's not because it's off camera too. I still love you though. Don't worry about it.
The group hug in that
100% is gonna happen.
Yeah.
Okay, well, wait. Let's switch up and let's talk basketball. Didn't you just you sold your stake for the Devils and the Sixers, right?
I did.
To your buddy.
Yeah.
And you couldn't do it. Is that because of the sports book?
It became really complicated. Like, I would say, the leagues in general have tons of rules that make it impossible. Like, for how big Fanatics is getting, when we were only in the merchandise business, before we had thousands of individual contracts with athletes, before we had all these athletes that were investors in our company, before we were taking bets on our own team, before we had agents that were investors in the company. Like, if there were a rule the leagues had that had to do with conflict, I think we found a way to not conform with the rule. So it just became too complicated. It was an easy decision for me because Fanatics, I have like the greatest opportunity in the world. And this is the thing I'm probably most excited about. Like, look, business turns me on more than anything. And like, to wake up every day and know I have an opportunity to build one of the most amazing companies in the world and work with tens of thousands of amazing people that have a mission to, like, build a great, experience for sports fans and, keep getting better and better, which we have so much work to do. Like, it's dreamy. And so I work around sports and technology with great people, great athletes, great entertainers, great business people, great associates. And so the Sixers became in the way of that. And so as soon as it was really in the way and it was inhibiting Fanatics, I was like, okay, I got to move on.
Well, that's what I'm curious about. Like, how, since you have Fanatics and you're so focused on that, how involved were you actually as an owner of the Sixers?
I was pretty involved. And I'm still, like, look, to be honest, and everyone knows this, it's a small world, I'm still pretty involved. I mean, first off, Joe and James are brothers to me. I mean, I love those guys, and they're family to me. Josh Harris and Blitz are family to me, who are the two primary owners of the team. Dave Edelman, who bought my stock in the Sixers, is family to me. So the Sixers are family. It's Fanatics makes you agnostic to sports. You almost like become numb to outcomes. I believe for the Sixers.
I think it's funny because you and Robert Kraft, your buddy, it seems like you guys, out of all the owners, are like most friendly with the players.
Yeah, and that's something that came very naturally. Like, I didn't, like, if anything, I think a lot of people try to keep their distance, but like, I like to learn from people and I like to help people. And that's the way, like, people have always been with me. Like, you talk about Robert Kraft, he's helped me so much in business, as his oldest son, Jonathan Kraft. Like, these guys have been so helpful to just helping me build Fanatics. And like, the same way they've helped me, I want to help other people. So, when James Harden called me, an hour before I walked in there this morning and had a couple of business things he wants to talk to me, but like, I stop and I want to help him and, like, push him to, to be better. He wants to push me to be better. And like, we're always pushing each other, whether it's, by the way, whether I'm, messing with him the way we're all messing with each other about, being the healthiest you can be, or, like, I mean, we're all like, we got good banter on everything going on every day in our lives.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. How much do those guys come to you for advice, like Lil Baby or like business advice and stuff?
Business advice a lot. I don't think James or Joe's never asked me for advice on the basketball court. Yeah. But I will tell you, what I will tell you, I talk a lot about with people is like I'm a huge person on teamwork. Like I believe, look, these guys are my friends, but look what just happened with the Brooklyn Nets. People would have said when you put KD, Kai, and H together, like that team was going to win multiple championships, and it didn't work. And
there's going to be second time too, though. That didn't work.
That's my point. So what do we learn about that? Teamwork. You can get the best talent in the world in business, in sports, and if you don't work together as a team, you're fucked. Okay. And so the big thing I'm focused on, I talk about this at Fanatics all the time, synergy, is teamwork. Yeah. Okay. And so I do a company meeting with all of our associates every quarter. Okay. Who's the first person I brought into my company meeting when we started doing this? Tom Brady. What did Tom Brady talk about? Not football. He talked about how he leads and how he brought people together, and and so, by the way, Kevin Hart was the last guy we had. So I tried to find inspirational people that people in my company can learn about. And both these guys, Kev and Tom, were great to inspire my company of how to work together. And so I'm so big on teamwork. So I won't talk with an athlete about what to do in basketball, because that would be a joke, because I don't know shit about it. But when we talk about this, how to work through adversity, how to work through tough times, definitely.
But you're a fan too at the same time. So like you watch the game and you know how things go. Why do you think that never worked? Harden, KD, and Kyrie.
I don't want to speak on that, but what I can tell you is, in business, in sports, to win, you need great teamwork. If you don't have great teamwork, you're not going to win. And I can tell you, you know what? Brady said this to the Fanatics team this past summer. He said, look, if you have multiple people fighting over the same ball, it ain't going to work. And that's why people need to know their jobs and their roles. And so I think that's very important.
Yeah, it's about the synergy. I have a question in regards to like potential, and how do you identify potential like projects or things you want to continue to move forward, or how you want to move forward on them? And also, like, how are you determining if someone has potential to, like, as far as like an actionable job within like your organization? How do you determine potential?
Well, first thing you need to say is, are people really important in your organization? And for us, people is everything. Like, we build everything around teams. And by the way, it's the same thing in my life personally. Like, if you look, like, I got a lot of really good people around me. We're all learning from each other. And by the way, you were asking about Baby before, and like, does he come to me for advice? He comes to me for business advice all the time, but I go to him for advice on stuff too. I'll ask him like, hey, will this, is this a good idea or a bad idea? Like, talk about, I remember, first time Jay and Baby spent time in my house, I remember Jay was sitting there, we were on this conversation, and Jay was talking about, I was asking Jay, like, I got to figure out how that we make headwear, consistently hot. And Jay looked at me and said, Michael, you're thinking about the wrong way. This is the way you put your sneakers on every day, the way you put your jeans on every day, the way you put your hoodie on every day. Hats part of that. That's just part of the wardrobe. Like, you got to think about it that way. And by the way, all three of you guys are in hats today. And so, even like that wisdom that I got from Jay in that moment, I remember walking out and calling the guy who runs lids and calling the guy who runs our commerce business. And like, man, we're thinking about it. This isn't about like a fashion cycle. This is about headwear's part of the wardrobe. Like, why are we not even thinking that way? And so that was like a great moment for me to learn from him. Okay. And so I get nuggets from my friends all the time. So like, we're always learning from each other.
Who do you think you go to the most? Do you have a guy that you call to, or like a mentor or anything? I mean, at this point, probably not, but.
No, definitely. I got lots of people for sure. I'd say, look, the number one person for me has probably been, and I'd say the Kraft family, Robert and Jonathan Kraft. I mean, these guys have been there for me, and helped me when people didn't believe in me. And, it's easy now for people to say, oh, I'm Rubin's boy, or, I'm on the bandwagon. Now obviously everyone wants to take us down, because the bigger you get, but when you're getting bigger, people want to help you do better. And then as you get to, as you start doing better, people want to take you down.
Oh,
but,
yeah.
Like, I think the number one person's been probably, I put, Rob and Jonathan Kraft together. These guys have just, been there for me from the early days, helping me, when a lot of people didn't believe in us. And I ask a ton of questions. There's no day that goes by where I'm not just throwing questions out there, learning from people, gaining information. When I go to the Super Bowl this weekend, I'll be studying everything we do, just picking up trends, ideas, listening to people. And by the way, and then I come up with ideas, and some are great and some suck. And that's, part of the process.
Yeah. I have a question about work. And you know the saying, like if you love what you do, you never work a day in your life. Is that true?
Definitely.
100%.
100%.
Yeah.
I've never worked a day in my life. It's a blast.
You just like every day you wake up and you enjoy what you're doing.
Yeah, you guys not gifted to do this.
No, I'm
It's
so
a
grateful.
fucking blast.
And then when the taxes come and they're like, go, you know what I'm saying? Like it's.
Or the flip side is what an honor it is to pay those taxes. I mean,
True.
obviously we all want to pay the lowest taxes.
Of course.
It's all about mindset, Brad.
Right.
Oh, thank you. No, I
Yeah.
appreciate that. Thank you,
Don't
dude.
get too- yeah.
Nah, dude.
I'm glad you're giving it back to him a little bit now too.
Yeah.
I usually
more
do. I'm kind of
aggressive.
off my game, bro.
He is off his
Honestly.
game today.
I'm way.
Did you go out last night?
No, I didn't. For this.
Maybe that was a
You
problem.
think I would go out when I know I'm doing Michael Rubin the next day?
I just want to make sure. I just want to make sure you, if you're taking abuse, I just want to make sure you give us.
Oh, I
motion
give it back.
Yeah, you got
we got to rest up for Super Bowl weekend anyway, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
What does
I
that
can't
look like
wait.
for
What's
you?
what's your schedule like? When do you
Super
get
Bowl
in?
weekend, I will say, is brutal.
When do you get in?
It's brutal. So I get in Thursday night.
Mm-hmm.
We host. So Thursday night at my house, I have just the top leaders of my company, like my executive team.
What should I bring?
You're coming.
What should I bring?
You just come and hang with us.
Okay.
Mashed
Yeah.
potatoes or like a Caesar salad or something?
Yeah.
Just mash.
Okay.
Yeah.
Solid.
So it's just small dinner, just kind of for the guys to really bond together. And then on Friday, I started something in Miami, which has become like an iconic lunch. We do myself and Casey Wasserman host a lunch for kind of what I say the 100 most influential people at the Super Bowl. And so the lunch is incredible. You have like, probably half the owners, but the most business oriented owners to, obviously, Roger Goodell. But then you take about business partners like the CEO of Verizon will be there, the CEO of NBC, the CEO of Fox, the CEO of TikTok.
That's fucked.
the fucking
then
world, dude.
Baby will be there. Meek will be there. Trav's coming this year. Jay Balvin will be there. DeMar Hamlin's coming this year. Brittany Griner's coming. And it's only 100 people. So it's like you cannot get to this lunch. So that's my Friday.
Fuck, dude.
And it is an incredible lunch. And everyone calls and says, can I come to this lunch? And I love everyone, but the answer is like, we make it for the 100. Like we try to, put together 100 incredible people that can all learn and grow from each other. In that whole spirit of my personality, we all want to learn from each other. So to me, it's so cool to have Brittany Griner, who went through what she went through, and DeMar Hamlin, who, nearly died in front of the whole world, with the CEO of Verizon and the owners of the teams and Roger Goodell and, but also having Baby and Meek and Trav there and Jay Balvin there and, and the CEO of TikTok there. And by the way, I love when I see the CEO of TikTok, and I can pick up things from him about how I can build TikTok for, fanatics. And so we're all learning from each other.
Yeah.
You ever get any
Fucking
nasty
crazy.
texts where someone's like, thanks for the invite, bro?
I get so many. It's insane.
Oh,
And
fuck.
you need to just almost not take it personally because it's like, okay, if the lunch I want to do is for the 100 most influential people at the Super Bowl, then that's what it's going to be for. And for anyone I offended, I'm sorry, I love you.
Yeah.
But like, it is what it is. And then Saturday we do the party, okay? And the party is, we don't sell tickets. It's purely a marketing party. It's, for the Fanatics brand. It's for the business partners that are most important to us. It's for the people that help us build our brand. And it's for like our really close friends. And by the way, the Eagles are in the Super Bowl this year. And I've had literally the party, we have probably 800 people. I'd say I've had thousands of people from Philadelphia reach out to me saying, can I come to your party? And the answer is no, I love you, but I can't do it.
Yeah.
Because that's not what the party is. The party's
Yeah.
supposed to be special for these 800 people. And then Robert Kraft and I host a suite at the Super Bowl. And, it's got a
He's like the
crazy
fucking Great
You probably
Gatsby
get
over
like
here.
10.
but so people are going to be mad at you all the time. And it
Yeah.
is what it is. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, call somebody.
There's
who-
people out there playing the game probably. Like, don't miss your happy birthday text. Make sure you get a Christmas gift.
I get so much guilt every day, but I'm just like, I just wake up and smile. It is what it is.
Dude, it's
Yeah,
so funny.
it's no different than people hitting you up for things. You do what you think is right. I get hit up every day for things, and I'm cool with that. And I'm fortunate to be in that position. I'm lucky as shit to be in that position. So what should I do? Make the decisions that I think are right. And if you do the right thing, then you wake up, you look yourself in the mirror, you feel good about what you're doing, you go to bed. And by the way, I do so many things for people, but you can't make everybody happy. You can't respond
This is
to
important.
everyone who's hitting you up, and you have thousands of people a day.
How do you know when to draw the line when you're like,
'Cause
my time is valuable, I can't do this?
So I have today, my life has got to, I legitimately work, and people don't, like, people see the fun side of me because what do you see on Instagram? You see me at the Grammys this weekend,
Mhm.
okay? But at the Grammys, you know that in my head, I knew everyone I saw, like, what were the things I had to help them with, or I want to learn from them, or, things that I thought we could do good together. Like, that's the way my brain thinks. My head's programmed out, okay? Like, I walk in each thing that I do saying, here are the things I need to follow up on, somebody they asked me to do. Here, by the way, I want to connect these two people because, like, at this lunch I'm doing on Friday, I know 20 people want to do things with each other. I want to make sure that I pair people together, because that's just the way my brain thinks. So, like, you try to do the best you can do. Look, I got a big organization. We have 5 full-time assistants for me these guys work 24/7. I have a chief of staff. These guys hustle, multiple people are just hosting people things, but you do the best you can do.
Have you ever done psychedelics?
Oh,
I don't know if I can ask that question.
Yeah,
or
you
not.
can ask me anything. I don't give a shit. No, I haven't. My body does not respond well to that. I mean, obviously, like I drink a fair amount.
Yeah.
I'm a guy's guy. I actually don't like alcohol, but I'm a guy's guy. So I couldn't in a personal setting, I never drink ever.
No casuals.
There's no casuals. But like when I go, I'm all in. So like,
when you drink, you drink.
Yeah, I'm all in.
I love that.
I have that same problem.
I fuck with that.
So this is a story that sounds preposterous, but at the white party last year.
Oh yeah, let's hear it.
At the white party last year, we had 366 people. That's all that's there.
Some of who was there?
Everyone knows. It was
all over. Yeah.
It was
all over there. Yeah.
Hold on, 366 people.
Yeah.
All my friends were there. 366 people. How many bottles of tequila you think we went through? Because this was mathematically confirmed.
365 people? Fuck.
366.
A couple thousand.
We went through 600 bottles of tequila over 11 hours. 600 bottles. And that was just tequila, by the way. Now, I know Trav, I think he poured like 25 on the stage by accident.
I was going to say, those guys probably just...
But it was crazy. So yeah, when I go in, I go in. I'm committed. When I commit, I commit.
I love that.
That's crazy.
Damn.
I'm just kind of curious with Fanatics and that all these relationships. Do you have a relationship with Adam Silver and Roger Goodell?
Yeah, of course.
But like, are you guys boys? Like, how does that work? Because you're so important to them too.
I talked to Roger 2 hours ago this morning, and Adam I talk to every week.
Like casual talks?
Yeah, of course. I mean, these guys are my most important business partners. Absolutely.
Yeah. That's wild.
Yeah. And look, I'll tell you something. You have to learn from different people, right? So I'm always learning from people. So I'll tell you, you asked me who my number one mentor was. I said it was probably Robert Kraft, Jonathan Kraft. But I would say the biggest thing that I've learned from Robert early on was the diversity of people around him. And that's what made him so special. And how could Robert beat Baby and Meek, who's become really good friends of through me, but then he's dealing with, the most serious political leaders, business leaders. And I think in a lot of ways, that's what makes me pretty unique. Like, I love, spending time with Adam and Roger.
Diversity.
At the same time, I love spending time with, Baby and Meek or Trav, who are all really good friends of mine. Think about Travis. I mean, this guy has become, think about how lucky I am to consider Travis a brother to me. This guy's become, in my mind, the number one most relevant cultural person for product vision in the world. Okay. Virgil's not with us anymore, unfortunately. Okay. You think about, Trav, anything he touches is incredible. Okay. What he's done with Nike, what he's done with Dior, what he did with, I forget whether it was McDonald's or Burger King, it was incredible. This guy is literally, I've never seen a guy who's more of a product genius than Travis Scott. Yet I get to learn from the guy. Okay. He calls me all the time and says, yo, Rube, let me show you this. He shows me the shit he's designing and how he's designing it. Okay. And I'm like, man, I'm humbled by that because he's making me better. He's making Fanatics better. And by the way, and we're going to do stuff together too, which is great. And by the way, I didn't seek out to meet Travis. By the way, I didn't even know he was good at product when I met him. I met him because he was, James Harden is one of his best friends. And we hung out together. And then one day he said, hey, can you come by my crib? I went to his house and I never took him seriously. And then I went to his house and he's telling me all these things he's doing. And he's showing me project after project after project after project. I left him, holy shit, this guy is a product genius. And now I realize, like, by the way, I happen to sell $6.5 billion of merchandise this year. I'm going to sell a few $1 billion of trading cards. Trav is a product genius. There's nobody better in the world for connecting, product vision and culture than Travis Scott. And he's my boy. Like, yeah, it's amazing. I'm lucky. Mm-hmm. So that's why I'm saying these things all come authentically. But, how did I meet him? Through James Harden, who became like a brother to me 5 or 6 years ago.
Yeah.
How do you make sure relationships like that don't get soured by like business deals and stuff like that?
That is a great fucking question.
Yeah.
Okay. I was just having a conversation about that last night. So I think for me, knowing that I'm in a pretty fortunate position, I always want to make sure anytime I do something with a friend that I am pretty damn sure it's going to work for them first, me second. Because if not, you're dead. Okay. And so I'll give you an example. When we bought Mitchell and Ness. Okay. We bought Mitchell and Ness a little less than a year ago. And they ran a sale process to sell it. And actually, the way it came about, the true story of how Mitchell and Ness came about is Jay-Z said to me a couple years earlier, like, Michael, we should buy a licensed headwear and apparel company. Like, let's find something to buy together. So it was in my head. Then he called me and he said, hey, Bron and Mav are thinking about buying this. Maybe we should all do it together. Like, you own Fanatics, you own the NBA store, NFL Shop, you own Lids, you have so many points to help make this successful, but we can understand how to make this better. So I said, hey guys, why don't I drive? And we negotiated what I thought was a really good deal to buy the company. And then I actually had Fanatics lend Mitchell Ness some money to make the equity check that went in even smaller. And to put this in perspective, the people we brought in at about 2 times profit. Okay. Now, anyone who understands anything about business, that's probably 90% cheaper than a lot of those things would be.
Yeah.
Because I want to make sure the deal would be great for them. Once I knew that the deal should be great for them, not only did we do it with Jay and Bron, who kind of originally kind of came to me with the idea of Jay really early on, and then Bron and Mav. But then we brought in so many other people that became our partners because I knew it would be a home run. And by the way, anyone who put $1 in got 12% of the money back in the first year already. They invested 1 year ago. They've already got 12% of the money back. And they're in equity. So I won't do a deal with someone if I don't think it's going to be great. I have no problem risking my own money. I don't want to risk my friends' money. So when I put my boys into stuff, I put it through a huge filter, much better than my own filter. I'm not always going to be right. It's just going to get fucked up from time to time.
Yeah.
Lids that we do with partners, like I'm not afraid to share this. Like, Lids, I had a lot of my friends who were investors in it. That's paid back. Like, it's the best deal we've ever done. So we've had many failures. This is the best one. So I'm giving you the best examples. Like someone only talking about the good day in the casino. Yeah. Okay. It's been a 60Xer,
Holy shit.
Me putting money,
Wow.
he was, got somebody out earlier, like 40 times his money. So like, I
Lids
love
is
that.
a crazy one. Like,
Lids is a crazy one.
I'm from Canada. I'm from Toronto, but yeah, I've been shopping at Lids for fucking my whole
since I was a
life.
kid.
Like, right?
Yeah.
That's a crazy one.
So the answer is I'm always very careful to make sure anything I do with my friends that I feel really good that's going to work out. And if not, do not do it because life is long. You don't want people pissed off at you. And by the way, when you talk about some of these influential people, the last thing that you want is a pissed off influential person at you. Okay, let's keep it real. You don't want someone coming at you like that. So you got to have a good filter.
It's interesting. You said life is long and not short.
Oh, look, I've been at this for 50 years. My brain's worked for maybe 47 of those 50. I'm not sure it works now, but look, I'm going to do this till I die. Hopefully I live till 90 or 100. So
like nonstop working, you think?
Yeah.
I understand that for real.
And by the way, let me tell you what's going to happen. If I stop, I'll be dead.
I believe you.
Like I'm like a shark. Like
I believe you.
I gotta swim and eat.
Is it what makes you feel good? Makes you feel like purposeful? Obviously.
Yeah, for sure. Because what else am I good at? Like, like I'm good. I'm pretty decent at business. So I like that. Of course. Yeah. I mean, I love, being with my family and, with Camille and Kylie and the babies, but this is works. Like that's what drives me.
Yeah. It's beautiful, man. This has been awesome.
What's up with the collectible stuff? Like the memorabilia, you think, I always look at it because it's like such a hot and cold market, right? It seems like it with digital stuff coming up and about. You think it's really like there's that much upside?
I think the collectible space has enormous upside for the most obvious reasons. So we got into this 2 years ago. We now have the collectible rights to not only Topps that we own today, which has baseball and F1 and Bundesliga and UEFA. We have all the rights coming on from the NFL, the NBA, NCAA, WWE, UFC. So we have all these trading cards. And here's the craziest thing. This business has never been marketed. There's never been any marketing in this business. Okay. There's never been any more product innovation. I'm telling you right now, to every collector out there, the 12-month cycle we're in right now, we will do more for this industry that's been done in the last 70 years. And by the way, I'm not arrogant. I'm pretty humble. We will do more this year than what's been done in the last 7 years. We're going to aggressively market this industry. We're going to aggressively innovate this industry. We got so much great shit coming. Like I am so bullish on it because this business is done great by accident. And by the way, if you plan a business to be lucky, you're dead long-term. I don't plan on luck. I plan on like good strategy, hard work, getting everyone behind it.
Yeah, you're just starting to do the live streaming of the opening of these things, right?
Absolutely. Yeah,
How
we're going to launch
important is
that
that?
later this year. I think it's really important. I think it's a new format. I think the format's really important. Look, I think one of the reasons I'm doing stuff like this, like I learned so much, like I'm going to watch what you got. I'm going to like now pay attention, like from this conversation today, I'm not going to pay attention to you guys. I'm going to learn from all of you guys. That's going to make us better at what we do. Like that's the way my brain works. So like I'm always learning. Like one of the things Fanatics actually has the biggest opportunity on today is kind of like natural social media. It's not been a place we've been strong, but like with all the content that's around us, how are we not great at that? Okay.
Yeah, facts.
And so it's something like I want to learn about. And we got to be younger. We got to be better. It's like, why am I excited to see your TikToks at my lunch on Friday and at my party on Saturday? Because I'm going to learn from him about how to, we're not good on TikTok, but by the way, the D'Amelios are all family to us. Just saw Mark D'Amelio last night. Charlie, Dixie, Heidi, Mark, they're all like family to us. So it's like, we all got to learn from each other.
I saw you guys at the Weekend concert.
We had fun. Abel's a great dude, by the way. Talk about beast. That guy's a beast. Yeah. Sold that stadium out 5 nights around. It's insane. I had no idea. It's funny. I always knew him a little bit, not one of my, I always knew him, not someone I know really well. I had no idea. And Cash kept saying, come to the concert, come to the concert. Yeah. Obviously, Cash and Abel have done this together. And I got there and I'm like, it didn't even strike me like, wait, I'm going to, SoFi, not like to crypto and, to the arena. I'm going to the stadium. And they're like, oh yeah, we're doing this 5 nights. I'm like, what? 5 nights?
Completely sold out.
That is fucking nuts.
Yeah.
That is nuts.
The Weekend did 5 nights in a row?
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
It was a beast.
Yeah. One of the things got canceled, they sold it out again and then they came back and did the show. Yeah. He completely sold out. This guy's insane, man.
Insane. Got a lot of respect for that.
Yeah.
Crazy.
That's a different, I guess you got to be a little crazy to do this stuff.
Do you watch anybody specific or like, are you scrolling TikTok ever? Like watching?
This is a good question. That's a funny question.
So I just went on TikTok a few months ago. I've not learned. I haven't got it yet. Like I need to. Like I'm not. Like I think I need to hang with Charlie and Dixie for the day and have them like teach me TikTok.
You're gonna be on it a bunch now.
I've seen you on there for sure.
But I've been on it. But I've never I have my own account.
Yeah.
But I'm not like Instagram is my voice. Like I like to make fun of myself. Like when I went in the cold plunge and like freaked out like a little bitch. Like I made fun of myself when I was trying to climb up the top to see, if we could build a roof here. Of course I like to make fun of myself. I haven't, I need to start doing stuff that's better on TikTok, but I don't spend a lot of time. Like I just kind of, whatever we catch naturally then
TikTok's a crazy one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the way we see it,
I need to learn TikTok. That should be my goal in 23 is to actually learn TikTok. Because how great will that be for Fanatics? Like if I could actually, be great on TikTok for Fanatics, that will actually help us expand our collectibles business and our betting business and our merchandise business. So I have to do that.
TikTok's crazy too, because even if you don't have your own account, like people are just posting, like this will get clipped up by accounts that we don't even own, right?
Yeah, I saw it with my white party. I remember like someone showed me like a week later, like this is insane.
All over TikTok type shit.
And it's not even really a bad thing because it's like the first time where like steal my content, sure, like it's more exposure, more
back
eyeballs.
in the day it used to be like don't take my content.
Yeah,
now it's
like on YouTube if someone re-uploads, on YouTube if someone re-uploads you like flag it and be like, yo, that's my shit. But TikTok, it's like, fuck it, go for it.
I want everything going everywhere. That's how we build a brand.
Yeah. It's pretty cool.
And it also like it reaches down to the younger generation, the younger audience as well to continue like harbor that sort of fan base too.
And we got to look, one of the things is hard. Like I act like a kid, but I got to remember I am 50. So, which is kind of crazy because I don't feel 50. I don't think I look 50, but like I got to keep thinking young.
Yeah.
Okay. Because that's how you keep, otherwise, you become a dinosaur and die. Okay. I don't want to become a dinosaur and die.
Fuck that.
That's not interesting.
Robert, how old's Robert? 82?
He'll be 82 in June. And by the way, that guy has the heart of a freaking lion.
Does he like party with you?
Robert came out Friday night. My boy Drew and Alex from the Chainsmokers had a party for the tequila company for Jaja. And Robert said, hey, let's stop by. I mean, at 1 o'clock in the morning, he was still going. Drinking shots of tequila. I keep getting handed shots.
Savage.
I keep getting handed shots. I'm like, Robert, I got to keep going. Shot o'clock, let's go.
That's hilarious.
Whoa, dude.
Yeah.
Him calling
singing
you
along to Closer by the Chainsmokers.
Shot o'clock.
Yeah. Shot o'clock. Let's go.
What?
Yeah, that's wild. That's good
crazy.
though.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
We got to get you in the cold plunge.
Yeah. I got to do the cold punch. Fuck.
Yeah,
We
This
have
was
to do
amazing,
it.
Michael.
Yeah, Michael, we appreciate it, man.
Yeah,
it's just it's sick to sit down with people like you, man, because it's inspiring for us as young
I've
entrepreneurs.
been hearing about you guys forever.
Awesome.
Congrats on what you guys have done.
Appreciate it.
It's amazing.
I'm fired up now too, so I'm ready to keep crushing now after that.
Yeah.
And now I'm going to pay more attention. I'm going to watch you guys keep killing it.
Sweet.
Thanks,
I know
bro.
you guys are crushing, so it's amazing. Congrats
And
to you
Brad
guys.
was asking before you got here. We understand.
I wasn't
Who's
asking
coming to the Super
anything.
Bowl?
Well, that's what
Wait,
we're
who's
gonna
coming to the
ask.
Super Bowl, by the way?
I mean, we need
We're going.
at least 2.
For the party, I got all 3. By the way, I'm saying no to
Yes.
everybody. I want you guys at the party having a blast.
Okay.
And the party's gonna be sick.
I'll be there.
Let's go.
Okay.
Can't wait.
So we got
Fuck
you got you all lined up.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Thank you, Michael. Appreciate
Michael
it.
Rubin.
Thank you so
go.
much.
Let's go.
Appreciate you, man. Crush it. You did crush it.
Absolutely. You're going to the whole
Those shoes are fucking.
I'll get you guys bathing suits. Hold on. Ronnie, we need bathing suits for these guys.